Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Corona Diaries. Something happened this last week that I was a part of that was amazing. It was Transform Virtual, the Transform Recruitment Marketing Conference. Last year was live in Boston. Obviously, this year with COVID, we had to go virtual. The crew over at Symphony Talent did an amazing job. It was probably the most engaging, dynamic virtual conference I've ever been a part of. They really thought about who was sitting in a chair at home or wherever they were sitting in a chair, and how do we get great content and how do we engage that person in a real way. Amazing. Started off with Torrin Ellis. I'm going to leave the link below. You click on it, go out and check out his opening keynote. Given the time and what we were doing in the world right now with the George Floyd killing and Black Lives Matter, it was exactly the right time to hear from Torn. It was amazing. It was powerful. It was emotional. It was real. Something from that, that hit me that really big, when Torn was speaking. He had made the comment that we turned our organizations on a dime for COVID-19. Whatever we were doing didn't matter. Pandemic hit, and we had to change everything. Some for the good, some for the bad, but we all changed. And yet somehow we still can't figure out D&I. So how is that, right? So it was that awakening, that gut punch that goes, he's right. He is right. So something that we know that's going to happen, right? 2040 is the year that most, people, statisticians and stuff will say, hey, at that point there's going to be more non-white faces, American citizens, than white faces. So there's that tipping point. So we kind of knew with the protests and stuff happening right now, at some point this was going to happen, right? Like we had an entire country that was built around a Bill of Rights and a Constitution that was written by white dudes. And eventually when the majority becomes non-white dudes, they're going to say, wait a minute, maybe some of this stuff doesn't play out real well and we need to make some changes. And we're starting to see that and feel that in some real major ways. So I want to keep it, and I've always talked about talent acquisition and HR, and I'm going to keep it there and not try to be super political. I want to sit there and talk about, so I'm a solutions person. I love, every time someone comes to me with a problem or I hear about a problem, my first thing, and it's a gift and it's a curse, because my wife sometimes can't stand when she's like, just listen to me, and I'm like, I got a solution. And so I don't have a solution for this entire issue, but I have a solution for organizations that are saying, hey, we're still struggling to hire diverse and inclusive, people for our organization. And so stick with me, because so in my mind I'm thinking, how can we solve this? How can we solve this? And then I'm out for a walk today, and I go, what if we didn't allow white dudes to no longer, if you're in an organization, whether that's 100 people or 100,000, if you're a white dude, you can no longer select. You can be part of the interview process, and you can give us your feedback, but you will not have the final selection. Has to be a black face, a brown face, a woman. Has to be somebody that's not a majority white male. What would happen? How would hiring change in your organization if that happened? I mean, I'm just throwing it out there, right? Because for hundreds of years we didn't let the black folks, select. We didn't let women select when they weren't allowed to interview or hire. And so what would really change? And I'm not saying this to push back. I'm saying really, truly, if we want to change. Because I've always said, like, hey, if you really want to change, if you really want to move the needle on diversity hiring, you have to have brown faces and females and people like that. It's a part of that interview team. It can't just be white dudes. They're going to hire more white dudes. So what happens if we just said, hey, white dudes, no longer. And we love you, keep working hard, but you can't select anybody anymore, because you tend to select that who looks most like you, that who is most like you. And so we need more brown faces, we need more women, we need more Asian, we need more Hispanic, we need more diversity and inclusiveness within the organization, so you're no longer can actually select. How would that change? I don't know. Think about it. That was the idea that came into my head. Hit me in the comments with your thoughts. Beat me up on the idea. I don't care. I just really, truly want to figure out how we can help and how we can be an advocate and an ally to the Black Lives Matter movement right now, and solving some of those major century-old issues that we have that we just can't turn the corner. We turn the corner on a dime for COVID-19. We have to be able to turn the corner on this as well. Again, check out the Transform keynote by Torn. Really kind of life-changing words from him. You'll really enjoy it. You'll thank me later. I hope everybody's keeping safe. We will see you next week.